In this quick video, we're going to look at how we graph intervals on a number line. If you'll look at the first example here at the top, this is showing us that we are looking at the numbers from 600 to 800. And if you'll notice, it has these closed brackets. Okay, those brackets signify equal to. If it's not equal to, we do parentheses. So when you're looking at the examples, some of them will say to include the endpoints and some will say do not include the endpoints. If you're including the endpoints, that means it can be equal to that number. So we use the brackets. If it does not include the endpoints, that means it goes up to but does not include or is not equal to that number. Okay, the other thing you'll notice here, there's a couple of ways we can write this. We can write 600 is less than or equal to, and I'm just going to use a random variable, x is less than or equal to 800. So we can say that x is anything from 600 to 800 or between 618, including the endpoints. You could also say, and that's what these down here are going to look at, and the reason we're looking at it this way is because this is getting us ready to do what we call confidence intervals in the next couple of lessons. And when we do a confidence interval, we start at the mean and then we add or subtract a number to create our confidence interval. So this could be 700 plus or minus 100. So 700 minus 100 would take us to 600. 700 plus 100 would take us to 800. So that would be our interval, anything between 6 and 800. So in this first example, it says graph each interval on the number line, include the endpoints. So if you're including the endpoints, you're going to put the brackets. So we have 12 plus or minus 3. So we would do 12 plus 3 is 15, and 12 minus 3 is 9. So we need to go from 9 to 15. So I'm going to put 15 in the middle, or 12 in the middle, and then we're going to go up to 15 and down to 9. And because we're including the endpoints, we put the closed brackets, and then we shade in the middle. So we started at 12, we went up 3 and down 3, and that creates our interval. The next one, negative 2 plus or minus 5. So we do negative 2 plus 5 and negative 2 minus 5. Negative 2 plus 5 would be 3. Negative 2 minus 5 would be negative 7. So we start in the middle of our graph at negative 2. And we're going to go from negative 7 to 3, everything in the middle shaded. And then the next one has a decimal in it. So 3 plus or minus 1.5. So if we do 3 plus 1.5, we would get 4.5. If we do 3 minus 1.5, we would get 1.5. So we're going to start at 3. And we need to go to 4.5. So I'm just going to label it like this, and we'll go in between. So if we go to 1.5, that would be halfway between 1 and 2. 4.5 would be halfway between 4 and 5, and then we shade. The next two examples tell us do not include the endpoints. So if we're not including the endpoints, we put parentheses, and that signifies that it goes up to but does not include those numbers. So we have 12 plus or minus 6. So 12 plus 6 would be 18. 12 minus 6 would be 6. Put 12 in the middle. So we're going to put parentheses because we're not including the endpoints, and then shade between. And then the last one, 1.5 plus 1.5 and 1.5 minus 1.5. So we would get 3 and we would get 0. So 1.5 would be right here. So we go from 0 up to 3, not including the endpoints, we put the parentheses. And that's all you have to do on these. And like I said, this is to prepare you for the confidence intervals in the next couple of lessons.